Chapter 6: How to Cultivate Compassion in Everyday Life. Compassion is not just a feeling, it is a practice, a conscious choice that shapes the way we interact with ourselves, others, and the world. While some believe that compassion is an innate trait, research shows that compassion can be cultivated, strengthened, and expanded through daily habits and intentional actions. Let's explore practical ways to integrate compassion into your daily life. 6.1 Practicing Self-Compassion. Before we can extend compassion to others, we must first learn to be kind to ourselves. Self-compassion is the foundation of emotional resilience and inner peace. How to develop self-compassion. White heavy checkmark. Reframe self-criticism. Instead of harshly judging yourself for mistakes, treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. White heavy checkmark. Practice self-kindness affirmations. I am doing the best I can, and that is enough. I deserve love and compassion, just like everyone else. Every mistake is an opportunity for growth. White heavy checkmark. Let go of perfectionism. Accepting imperfections is an act of self-love. Understand that growth comes through mistakes and experiences. Small blue diamond example. Psychologists at Stanford University found that individuals who practice self-compassion recover faster from failure, experience lower levels of anxiety, and have a stronger sense of well-being. 6.2 Practicing Compassion in Relationships. The way we treat others is a reflection of our inner world. When we cultivate a compassionate mindset, our relationships naturally become more meaningful, fulfilling, and harmonious. Ways to show compassion in relationships. White heavy checkmark. Practice deep listening. Give your full attention when someone is speaking, without interrupting or formulating a response in your mind. White heavy checkmark. Validate others' feelings. Instead of rushing to fix problems, simply acknowledge what the other person is experiencing. I hear you. That must have been really difficult. I understand why you feel that way. White heavy checkmark. Offer kindness without expectation. Small acts of kindness, whether it's a compliment, a thoughtful gesture, or helping someone in need, create ripples of positivity. Small blue diamond example. Studies on long-term relationships show that partners who practice daily acts of compassion and gratitude experience greater levels of intimacy, trust, and emotional connection. 6.3 Expanding compassion to the community. Compassion extends beyond personal relationships. It can be a guiding principle in how we interact with our communities and contribute to the world. How to spread compassion in your community. White heavy checkmark. Volunteer your time. Helping at shelters, community programs, or mentorship initiatives strengthens both the giver and receiver. White heavy checkmark. Support ethical businesses. Choose to buy from companies that treat their employees and the environment with care. White heavy checkmark. Practice non-judgment. Everyone has struggles we cannot see. When we stop making assumptions and approach others with understanding, we create a more compassionate world. Small blue diamond example. Neuroscientists have found that engaging in acts of compassion activates the brain's reward center, releasing dopamine and oxytocin, which promote happiness and connection. 6.4 Mindfulness and Compassion, a daily practice. Mindfulness is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating compassion. By training ourselves to be present, we become more attuned to our emotions and the emotions of others. Mindful practices to deepen compassion. White heavy checkmark. Metta meditation, loving kindness meditation. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and silently repeat. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. Then extend the same wish to others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. White heavy checkmark. Gratitude reflection. End each day by reflecting on acts of kindness you witnessed or experienced. White heavy checkmark. Compassion journaling. Write down moments where you practiced or received compassion. This reinforces positive behavior and increases awareness. Small blue diamond example. Research from Harvard Medical School found that regular mindfulness practice enhances emotional intelligence, increasing empathy and prosocial behavior. 6.5 Creating a compassionate legacy. Compassion is not just about the present moment, it is about shaping a better future. When we practice compassion consistently, we leave behind a legacy of kindness, understanding, and positive change. How to leave a legacy of compassion. White heavy checkmark. Teach compassion to children, encourage kids to express empathy, share, and help others. White heavy checkmark. Lead by example. Be the kind of person who inspires others to act with kindness. White heavy checkmark. Support global causes, whether through donations, activism, or spreading awareness. Contributing to a compassionate world starts with individual actions. Small blue diamond example. The Dalai Lama once said, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." Science and spirituality both confirm that true happiness comes from giving, not just receiving. Final thought: the world needs more compassion, it starts with you. Every act of compassion creates ripples of healing. Imagine a world where more people choose to respond with understanding instead of judgment, love instead of indifference. That world starts with you. Right arrow. What small act of compassion can you commit to today? Chapter 7: The Global Impact of Compassion, Changing the World Through Kindness. Compassion is more than just a personal virtue, it has the power to transform societies, bridge divides, and heal the world. From social activism to humanitarian aid, acts of compassion have sparked profound change throughout history. In this chapter, we explore how compassionate leadership, ethical business practices, and community-driven initiatives can create a more just and harmonious world. 7.1 Compassionate Leadership and Social Change. Great leaders throughout history have demonstrated that compassion and strength are not opposites but complementary forces. The ability to lead with empathy, understanding, and a commitment to the well-being of others has proven to be a powerful catalyst for change. How compassion transforms leadership. White heavy checkmark. In business, leaders who prioritize employee well-being and ethical business practices create thriving, sustainable organizations. White heavy checkmark. In politics, policies driven by empathy, such as healthcare reforms, education access, and social justice movements, improve quality of life for millions. White heavy checkmark. In communities, grassroots movements based on kindness and solidarity have historically led to progress in human rights, environmental conservation, and global peace. Small blue diamond example. Nelson Mandela, despite enduring 27 years in prison, emerged as a leader who promoted forgiveness and reconciliation instead of revenge. His compassionate approach helped unify a divided South Africa and dismantle apartheid. 7.2 The Economics of Compassion, Why Kindness is Good for Business. Some might assume that business and compassion don't mix, but studies show that ethical, people-centered companies are often the most successful and sustainable. How compassion fuels business growth. White heavy checkmark. Higher employee retention. Companies that prioritize mental health and work-life balance retain employees longer. White heavy checkmark. Customer loyalty. Consumers are increasingly drawn to brands that operate with integrity and contribute positively to society. White heavy checkmark. Long-term sustainability. Businesses that consider social and environmental impact tend to outperform profit-driven models in the long run. Small blue diamond example. Patagonia, the outdoor apparel brand, has built a billion-dollar company while donating significant profits to environmental conservation efforts and ensuring ethical supply chains. Their commitment to compassionate capitalism has fostered customer loyalty and long-term success. 7.3 Compassion in Crisis, Humanitarian Aid and Disaster Relief. Compassion shines brightest in times of crisis. Whether responding to natural disasters, wars, or humanitarian emergencies, compassionate individuals and organizations bring hope, aid, and relief to those in need. How compassion saves lives in times of crisis. White heavy checkmark. Emergency response teams, volunteers, doctors, and aid workers risk their lives to help in disaster-stricken areas. White heavy checkmark. Refugee assistance programs, providing shelter, food, and education to displaced populations. White heavy checkmark. Community-led relief efforts. Grassroots initiatives often mobilize faster than government programs to provide immediate aid. Small blue diamond example. During the COVID-19 pandemic, thousands of volunteers worldwide helped deliver groceries to the elderly, provided free mental health support, and created community networks to ensure no one was left alone. 7.4 Spreading compassion through small acts. While global initiatives are inspiring, real change begins at the individual level. Each of us has the ability to make the world a better place through small, intentional acts of kindness. Ways to make a difference today. White heavy checkmark. Donate to a cause you believe in. White heavy checkmark. Support small businesses that prioritize ethical practices. White heavy checkmark. Offer a kind word or encouragement to someone struggling. White heavy checkmark practice cultural and social empathy, seek to understand before judging. Small blue diamond example, the concept of paying it forward, where one act of kindness inspires a chain reaction, has led to countless heartwarming stories of strangers helping each other in unexpected ways. 7.5 The future of compassion, a hopeful outlook. As technology advances and the world becomes increasingly interconnected, the need for compassion is greater than ever. The future of humanity depends on our collective ability to act with kindness, understanding, and cooperation. How to ensure compassion remains at the core of society. White heavy checkmark teach emotional intelligence and kindness in schools. White heavy checkmark promote mental health awareness and accessible support systems. White heavy checkmark encourage compassionate policies in governments and organizations. White heavy checkmark use technology for good, spreading awareness, education, and positive messaging. Small blue diamond example, global initiatives like the Compassionate Cities movement aim to integrate kindness into urban planning, healthcare, and education, ensuring that compassion is embedded in the fabric of society. Final thought, be the change, lead with compassion. Globe showing Europe Africa the world needs more compassion, more people who choose kindness over indifference, understanding over judgment, and generosity over selfishness. Compassion is not just an emotion, it's a call to action. Whether in small daily acts or large-scale initiatives, you have the power to shape a world where love, kindness, and understanding prevail. Right arrow, what will be your first act of compassion today? Chapter 8, Cultivating a Legacy of Compassion, Inspiring Future Generations. True compassion extends beyond our own lifetimes. The greatest gift we can leave behind is a world shaped by kindness, empathy, and understanding. By embedding compassion into our daily lives, we influence the next generation to do the same, creating an enduring ripple effect. In this chapter, we explore how to instill the values of compassion in families, education systems, and cultural narratives to ensure that kindness remains at the core of human progress. 8.1 Teaching compassion to children and future generations. Children learn by example. If we wish to raise a future filled with empathetic, kind-hearted individuals, we must model and teach compassion from an early age. How to instill compassion in children. White heavy checkmark lead by example, show kindness in your daily interactions, children observe and mimic adult behaviors. White heavy checkmark encourage perspective taking, help children understand different viewpoints by asking questions like, how do you think that person feels? White heavy checkmark teach emotional intelligence, validate their emotions and encourage healthy ways to express and navigate feelings. White heavy checkmark engage in acts of service together, volunteering, donating, or simple acts of kindness shape their sense of responsibility toward others. Small blue diamond example, many schools now implement social emotional learning (SEL) programs, which teach children how to identify emotions, resolve conflicts peacefully, and practice empathy, skills crucial for building a more compassionate society. 8.2 Compassion in education, transforming schools into kindness hubs. Education should not only focus on academic achievement but also on nurturing ethical, kind, and emotionally intelligent individuals. Schools that integrate compassion into their curriculum create more inclusive, respectful, and connected communities. Ways to integrate compassion into education. White heavy checkmark mindfulness and emotional awareness programs, teaching students stress management and self-regulation techniques. White heavy checkmark peer support and anti-bullying initiatives, encouraging students to look out for one another. White heavy checkmark service learning projects, assigning real-world community service tasks to promote empathy and leadership. White heavy checkmark conflict resolution training, teaching nonviolent communication and active listening skills. Small blue diamond example, Finland's education system incorporates kindness projects, where students regularly engage in activities that promote teamwork, emotional well-being, and community service. 8.3 Creating a culture of kindness in workplaces and organizations. While workplaces are traditionally seen as performance-driven environments, companies that embrace compassion as part of their culture experience higher productivity, employee satisfaction, and long-term success. How companies can foster a compassionate culture. White heavy checkmark prioritize employee well-being, offer mental health resources and work-life balance programs. White heavy checkmark encourage ethical leadership, train leaders to lead with empathy rather than fear. White heavy checkmark promote workplace inclusion and diversity, ensure all employees feel valued and heard. White heavy checkmarks celebrate kindness and collaboration, recognize and reward acts of compassion within the company. Small blue diamond example: Google's Search Inside Yourself Mindfulness and Leadership program has been globally recognized for fostering workplace compassion, emotional intelligence, and overall well-being. Underscore 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 underscore. 8.4 The media's role in shaping compassionate narratives. Media has immense power in shaping public perception, cultural values, and social movements. Instead of fueling division and fear, storytelling, journalism, and entertainment can be forces for compassion. How media can promote compassion. White heavy checkmark highlight positive and inspirational stories, instead of focusing solely on crises and conflicts, showcase acts of kindness and resilience. White heavy checkmark create more inclusive and empathetic narratives, represent diverse perspectives in films, books, and journalism. White heavy checkmark encourage constructive dialogue, facilitate discussions that bridge differences rather than fuel polarization. Small blue diamond example: Humans of New York, a storytelling project featuring real-life experiences, has amassed millions of followers, proving that stories of kindness and human connection resonate deeply worldwide. Underscore 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 underscore. 8.5 Compassion as a global movement, the future of a kinder world. The future of humanity depends on our collective commitment to compassion, cooperation, and ethical responsibility. To ensure lasting change, compassion must evolve beyond individual acts, it must become a global movement. How to make compassion a global standard. White heavy checkmark support global humanitarian efforts. Organizations like UNICEF, Doctors Without Borders, and the Red Cross thrive on collective acts of compassion. White heavy checkmark advocate for ethical policies. Use your voice to support policies that prioritize human rights, equality, and environmental care. White heavy checkmark embrace global citizenship. See beyond borders and recognize our shared humanity. White heavy checkmark leverage technology for good. Use social platforms to spread kindness, educate, and inspire action. Small blue diamond example: the Dalai Lama advocates for a global education system that teaches compassion and emotional ethics alongside traditional subjects, believing it to be the key to long-term peace. Underscore 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 underscore. Final thought: becoming architects of a compassionate world. Compassion is not just a moral virtue, it is the foundation of a thriving, peaceful, and progressive society. The question is not whether kindness can change the world, it already has, countless times throughout history. The real question is: will you choose to be a part of this movement? Right arrow: what compassionate action will you take today to make the world a better place? Chapter 9: Living a Life Rooted in Compassion, a Daily Practice. Compassion is not a fleeting emotion, it is a way of life. To fully embody it, we must make it a conscious part of our daily routine, integrating it into our thoughts, actions, and interactions with others. This chapter explores how to sustain a compassionate lifestyle, making kindness an effortless and authentic part of who we are. 9.1 Starting each day with compassion. How you start your day sets the tone for how you engage with the world. Cultivating a compassionate morning routine helps anchor your mindset in kindness and understanding. Morning practices to cultivate compassion. White heavy checkmark gratitude reflection. Take a few moments to appreciate the people and experiences that bring joy into your life. White heavy checkmark loving kindness meditation. Metta meditation. Send positive thoughts to yourself, loved ones, and even strangers. White heavy checkmark. Set an intention for the day, choose a value to embody, e.g., today, I will practice patience and kindness in all interactions. White heavy checkmark. Mindful breathing, center yourself before stepping into the day's challenges. Small blue diamond example, the Dalai Lama begins each morning with the thought, today, I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life, and I am not going to waste it. 9.2 Choosing kindness in everyday interactions. Compassion is most powerful when woven into the small, seemingly insignificant moments of daily life. How to express compassion in everyday interactions. White heavy checkmark. Listen with full presence, when engaging in conversations, truly listen rather than thinking of what to say next. White heavy checkmark. Offer small acts of kindness, hold the door open, offer a genuine compliment, or express appreciation to someone who made your day easier. White heavy checkmark. Pause before reacting, instead of responding with frustration, take a deep breath and choose a response rooted in patience and empathy. Small blue diamond example, a simple smile or kind word to a stranger can shift their entire day. Imagine if everyone practiced this. 9.3 Turning challenges into opportunities for compassion. Life inevitably brings challenges, conflicts, and frustrations. Instead of letting difficulties harden us, we can use them as opportunities to deepen our practice of compassion. How to remain compassionate in difficult situations. White heavy checkmark. View conflict as a mirror, recognize that when others act negatively, they are often projecting their own pain. White heavy checkmark. Practice radical empathy, instead of reacting with anger, ask, what might this person be going through? White heavy checkmark. Self-compassion in failure, treat yourself with kindness when you make mistakes instead of self-criticism. Small blue diamond example, when faced with rude or difficult individuals, remind yourself that they, too, have struggles. Choosing understanding over judgment creates a ripple effect of kindness. 9.4 Aligning your work and purpose with compassion. Many people separate their work life from their values, but true fulfillment comes when compassion is integrated into your career and daily purpose. How to bring compassion into your work. White heavy checkmark. Lead with empathy, whether you're a leader, employee, or entrepreneur, prioritize human connection over rigid productivity. White heavy checkmark. Create meaningful impact, find ways to help, inspire, or support others in your work, no matter what field you are in. White heavy checkmark. Seek work that aligns with your values, if possible, pursue a career that allows you to contribute positively to the world. Small blue diamond example, companies that prioritize ethical business practices, fair treatment of employees, and social responsibility create workplaces that foster both success and well-being. 9.5 Practicing compassion in a digital world. In the era of social media and digital communication, compassion can often be overlooked. The anonymity of the internet can breed hostility, but we have the power to shift digital spaces toward positivity and respect. How to use digital spaces with compassion. White heavy checkmark. Pause before commenting, ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this kind? Before posting. White heavy checkmark. Share uplifting content, spread messages of hope, wisdom, and encouragement. White heavy checkmark. Engage in constructive dialogue, disagree respectfully and avoid contributing to online negativity. Small blue diamond example, studies show that negative news and divisive content increase stress and anxiety. Being mindful of what we consume and how we engage can protect both our mental well-being and that of others. 9.6 Ending each day with reflection and gratitude. The way we close our day determines the energy we carry into tomorrow. Ending each night with compassion helps reinforce kindness as a natural part of who we are. Evening practices for a compassionate mindset. White heavy checkmark. Reflect on the day's acts of kindness. What moments of compassion did you experience today? White heavy checkmark. Practice forgiveness. Release any resentment toward yourself or others before sleeping. White heavy checkmark. Express gratitude. Acknowledge the positive moments, no matter how small. White heavy checkmark. Send loving kindness thoughts. Before bed, silently wish peace, happiness, and healing to yourself and others. Small blue diamond example, many spiritual traditions end the day with prayers of gratitude and forgiveness, recognizing that peace begins within. Final thought, becoming a lifelong ambassador of compassion. Compassion is not a destination, it is a lifelong journey. The world desperately needs more people who choose kindness over judgment, understanding over division, and love over fear. Ask yourself. How can I bring more compassion into my life today? Globe showing Europe Africa, what small action can I take to make the world a kinder place? Because when you choose compassion, you change not just your own life, but the lives of everyone you touch. Chapter 10, The Ripple Effect of Compassion, Changing the World with Kindness. Compassion is more than a personal practice, it has the power to create profound change in the world. When we embrace kindness, not just in our thoughts but in our actions, it spreads like ripples in a pond, reaching far beyond what we can see. This chapter explores how individual acts of compassion inspire collective transformation and how we can actively contribute to a more compassionate world. 10.1 How one act of kindness creates a chain reaction. Science has proven that acts of kindness are contagious. When we experience or witness an act of compassion, it triggers a neurological response that makes us more likely to be kind in return. How kindness multiplies. White heavy checkmark. Kindness sparks more kindness. Studies show that people who receive an act of generosity are more likely to pass it on to others. White heavy checkmark. It strengthens communities. Compassion builds trust, cooperation, and deeper human connections. White heavy checkmark. It reduces social divisions. Small acts of understanding help break down barriers of race, religion, and culture. Small blue diamond. Example: the Pay It Forward movement began when one person covered a stranger's coffee, inspiring a chain reaction of kindness across an entire town. 10.2 Compassion in Leadership and Social Change. History has shown that the most influential leaders, spiritual, political, and social, were guided by deep compassion. How compassionate leadership transforms societies. White heavy checkmark. It prioritizes the well-being of others. Ethical leadership ensures fairness, equality, and human dignity. White heavy checkmark. It inspires unity and cooperation. The ability to empathize brings people together for a common cause. White heavy checkmark. It creates sustainable change. Lasting progress is built on understanding rather than force. Small blue diamond. Example: leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Nelson Mandela transformed the world by leading with compassion, forgiveness, and unwavering love for humanity. 10.3 The Role of Compassion in Healing Divided Societies. In a world increasingly divided by politics, social issues, and cultural differences, compassion is the missing bridge. How to bring more compassion into society. White heavy checkmark. Practice active listening. Instead of reacting, seek to truly understand opposing perspectives. White heavy checkmark. Engage in meaningful conversations. Dialogue rooted in respect leads to solutions, not conflict. White heavy checkmark. Promote tolerance and inclusion. Support policies, communities, and movements that encourage diversity and acceptance. Small blue diamond. Example: countries that promote compassion-based education, teaching children empathy, kindness, and emotional intelligence, report lower crime rates, higher social trust, and stronger mental well-being. 10.4 Spreading compassion through philanthropy and service. One of the most powerful ways to expand compassion beyond ourselves is through service and giving. Ways to contribute to a more compassionate world. White heavy checkmark. Volunteer for a cause you believe in, whether it's helping the homeless, mentoring youth, or environmental conservation. Service nurtures humility and connection. White heavy checkmark. Support charities and organizations. Even small donations can create a big impact when directed toward meaningful initiatives. White heavy checkmark. Offer your skills to those in need. If you're a teacher, mentor a struggling student. If you're a doctor, offer free medical care to the underserved. Small blue diamond. Example: many successful entrepreneurs, such as Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, dedicate billions to humanitarian causes, understanding that true wealth lies in giving. 10.5 Teaching the next generation the value of compassion. The best way to ensure a future rooted in kindness is to pass on the practice of compassion to children. How to teach compassion to future generations. White heavy checkmark. Lead by example. Children mirror the behaviors they see in adults. Show them kindness, and they will naturally follow. White heavy checkmark. Encourage volunteering and service. Involve them in activities that teach gratitude and generosity. White heavy checkmark. Teach emotional intelligence. Help them recognize emotions in themselves and others, fostering deeper empathy. Small blue diamond. Example: schools that incorporate social emotional learning, SEL, report higher academic performance, reduced bullying, and more positive school environments. 10.6 Leaving a legacy of compassion. True success is not measured by wealth, fame, or power, but by how much love and kindness we have given. Ways to leave a legacy of compassion. White heavy checkmark. Live with integrity, align your actions with your values. White heavy checkmark. Inspire others through your actions, be the person who uplifts those around you. White heavy checkmark. Create a ripple effect of goodness, every small act of kindness contributes to a better world. Small blue diamond. Final reflection. Imagine a world where everyone made compassion a daily priority. How different would our societies look? How much peace and joy would exist? Final thought, becoming an ambassador of compassion. The world does not need more competition, greed, or division. It needs more kindness, more understanding, and more people willing to choose love over fear. By practicing daily compassion, we don't just change ourselves, we change the world. White heavy checkmark. Will you be one of the people who choose to lead with love? White heavy checkmark. What small action can you take today to spread compassion? Because true power lies in kindness, and the future belongs to those who embrace it. Yellow heart globe showing Europe, Africa.